Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of 911 on Fox, Season 5, Episode 10. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted reality shows as well as scripted shows. If you're returning, you one of my peoples, welcome back. So we don't have any comments from last week's episode, so we're gonna jump right in. So we started off with this woman and her daughter, and I guess it was the woman's friend. She's on the phone with her husband because he's a pilot and he's traveling at this time. She would like him to be there with them so they could see Santa, but things happen. He's a pilot. At least she gets to see him every other Christmas. So I was like, okay, cool. Then I was like, my mind, since we watching 911 on Fox, I was like, okay, is the plane that he is flying somehow gonna crash around this site? But oh, was I wrong? Little girl's like, oh, daddy. She's like, no, daddy's on the plane. The little girl's like, no, daddy over there. Daddy got a whole other family out here. And I was like, did you not know that your other wife, was going to be here? Because I'm pretty sure she told you, we taking, little Sarah to see Santa at this location on this day. Or you forgot. I mean, you are juggling two families, but I was like, ooh, this don't look good at all. She runs up to him. He's like, oh, snap. So now he got to take off. No, she don't run up to him. She calls his name. He takes off running. So she chases him and he ends up getting hit by Charlie, breaking both ankle bones. And I was like, see, this is what happens when you cheat. Like, cheating, having two families, that seemed like it was a lot of work. You got to remember names. You got to remember birthdays. You got to remember anniversaries. You got to remember, wife number one, she allergic to shellfish, but wife number two loves shellfish. This wife, she like doing this. This wife likes doing this as well. And how can I do that without, other people finding out our business type of situation? Well, as they sitting there talking, we find out the wife number one is actually wife number two. And she's like, how old are your kids? She's like, my kids are 7. She's like, oh, snap. Here I am mad at you thinking you stole my husband, but I didn't stole your husband because I've only been married to him for this amount of years. I mean, it don't really matter at this time who stole whose husband. I mean, the man was cheating. That's all we know. Whether he cheated on you or cheated with you, this man is a cheat. We did have this little scene later on in the episode where these two was cutting up at the emergency room. Doggone it, and got into it with the security guard. I'm like, y'all trying to go to, jail on Christmas Eve because of this man who been cheating? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. At one point, he's like, I did hit my head. Maybe I can act like I got amnesia so I can, like, sir, enough with the lying. So we had this young lady who has a crush on her coworker, and she has been texting her friend, "Oh my goodness, I want to give him this present," but she's shy and she don't know how he gonna, receive it. He gives her a present, and she's like, "Okay, thank you," and he's like, "You don't have to give me anything back," but she was like, she's sitting there like, "Oh my goodness, I want to, I want to." I want to give him this present. She finally manages to get the confidence to ask this dude out. Got him tickets to the Philharmonic. And like he was like, oh, and she's like, oh, it's okay if you don't like me. And she turns around and there was a maintenance man working on the elevator. The elevator door is open, but the elevator is not in there. The elevator is down some, so she ends up falling in the elevator shaft. You don't know how paranoid and scared I would have been. Like I would have been scared to move because like I would have been in my mind the slightest movement would have caused the elevator to fall to the ground floor. Now, a little side note. One time, me and my mama, we was at a hospital. And we was leaving and we about to get on the elevator. But, the elevator was already open when we got there. We stood on that elevator. It was making like this weird noise. Me and my mama looked at each other, didn't say anything, just looked at each other, and then walked right down at the elevator. Nope, not finna do it. I already, get a little scared when I get on the elevators anyway. And for the whatever reason, Some years later, I saw getting on an elevator that goes to like one of the tallest buildings in Texas was a good idea. I think it was like 40 or 50 like floors. And it's one thing when, okay, I gotta go up four, floors on the elevator. Try doing that like 50 times. Going up wasn't bad, it's just the coming down, it seemed like they just drop you. But yeah, she ends up falling on the elevator shaft. But turns out, dude likes her as well. It's just that he don't like the Philharmonics. He hates the Philharmonics because his girlfriend played in the Philharmonics and cheated on him with a fellow player in the Philharmonics. So he don't see it for the Philharmonics anymore. But they can go somewhere else, because he do like her. I was like, okay, good. I mean, it said that she had to follow the elevator shaft for y'all to express how y'all like each other. But he been wanting to ask her out for months, but he just shy. So we had this lady who is a frequent caller to the 911 dispatch. They even have her doggone a name in there. Okay, your address pop up. This is a prowler. She be calling about any and everything. At one point, she called and said she had a gas leak, and one of the dispatchers had them like section off part of the like several blocks, evacuated neighborhoods, sending several teams over there, and wasn't nothing wrong. I kind of find out the lady, she just old and she just, she lonely. But I was scared that something was gonna actually happen to her and they wasn't gonna believe her. That's what I was scared was gonna happen. But it was like, what can we do to, get this lady to stop calling if it's not an emergency? So they sending out the big dogs. They sent Athena over there. And we found out this lady, her husband had passed away. She hasn't talked to her daughter in years because she thought it was a good idea at her daughter's wedding to say she didn't think that the marriage was going to last. And here they are, like 12 years later, and 2 kids. But I was like, yeah, I don't know. We don't have to say exactly what we feel in our mind. Even if you thought that wasn't going to last, your daughter had to, she had to go through that. So we had this man. He is picking up. He didn't pick up the Christmas tree. He's, at his house backing into his parking spot, and he ends up hitting one of the support beam posts and causing the ceiling to fall. Thank goodness his wife and son was able to get out, but the ceiling has fallen on him in his car. He unconscious. He's scared, but they was able to get him out with like minor injuries and possibly a concussion. But this building is no longer safe. Those support beams was supposed to be replaced like since the last, I guess, earthquake they had, and the management, the owner, whoever, did not do that. So now the whole building has to be evacuated, and these people got to be displaced like this Christmas Eve, and they have to be displaced. I was like, that's messed up. But I was like, dang, was they even able to get their presents out? I'm pretty sure they wasn't able to. I was like, y'all couldn't like in my mind, get the ladder and like roll in through the window and grab some presents. And I was like, oh, that's messed up. But Athena and Bobby, they were going to have this nice little Christmas dinner. May, she's working on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day because that's extra money for her. Buck canceled, Eddie canceled, some other friends have canceled. So it's just gonna be Athena, Bobby, and Harry. And Harry's at that age where he don't want anything, he just want cash or gift cards. That's all he wants. So they was like, we got all these turkeys and all this food. They decided we go celebrate Christmas with everybody who has been displaced from this building. We got food for y'all. We got presents for y'all. Come on over and have a good time. I was like, all right. I mean, it is not the same, but yeah, I appreciate this anyway. So lastly, Christopher has been wanting everything to be perfect on for Christmas. The tree has to be turned a certain way. The popcorn and cranberries for the to wrap around a tree has to be a certain way. 5 popcorns, to one cranberry. That's how it's supposed to be. We need the right amount of lights. He just wants everything to be perfect. And then he was making his gingerbread house, and Eddie accidentally spilled hot chocolate on it, and Christopher has like a little mini tantrum, and he's like, "Okay, buddy, what's going on?" Because he had already like woke up in the middle of the night screaming because he had a bad dream about his mom. It's because it's Christmas time. That was their time, and I think she may have passed around Christmas time, which makes it even worse. And now he's like worried about Eddie and his safety because he's a fireman, and that's not the safest job out here. And while he was talking to his friend, I cannot think of what her name is, but her name is Coco. That's what her real name is. He was saying how basically his job is, high risk. And just a few weeks ago, him and Buck was held at gunpoint. He didn't tell Christopher because he was, safe. With all this going on, Eddie decides that he is no longer going to be working for 118. I was like, we just left and right. Maddie, gone. Chimney and the baby, gone. Michael, gone. Now Eddie, now I know why Michael Rockman Dunbar, he left because he didn't want to get vaccinated. That's his choice. But I was like, is that why everybody else is like gone now because of, they didn't want to be vaccinated, or they just quitting, or like this is what I'm gonna do, but didn't turn out I'm not gonna quit? I have questions. So that was the test. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you were new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It's free all day, every day for $99. Make sure your notifications are on so when my beautiful face puts up a video, you can click on it, you can like it, and share with your people, and you can come over and be one of my people. If you're already one of my peoples, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.